Hey, spring practice has started. Doug Lesmerises, Lesmerises and Nathan Baird from cleveland.com. On Monday, we got to watch the whole practice from like 8:30ish to like 10:30ish. Then we asked Ryan Day a gazillion questions about it. So we have a lot to tell you. Make sure you're reading cleveland.com/OSU. And for real, this is like the time to sign up for the texts. Please try it. cleveland.com/OSU for more info. 14-day free trial. Man, I just belched info into those texts this morning. Nathan, who is an offensive guy that really stood out to you on day one of spring practice?
Well, on first day of spring practice, it's not so much what they do sometimes. It's just where they are and where they're allowed to line up. And Paris Johnson is in there competing potentially for a first-string spot. We don't know how long that's going to last, but I thought it meant something that he's in there on day one of the spring. And we talked to Ryan Day a couple of weeks ago, and he was very kind of non-committal about how quickly they would push someone, even as talented as Paris Johnson, as far as whether he'd be competing, whether he'd be at right tackle, kind of wanting to bring those guys along at the right speed. But it says something to me that he's there on day one. Maybe it's just there to push someone like Nicholas Petit-Frere, or maybe he potentially could be in the mix to start right away. We'll see.
Not a surprise necessarily, but I thought it was important that they had him at right tackle, not left tackle, because Thayer Munford is the left tackle. So if you just saw that Paris Johnson was the backup left tackle, then it's like, well, he's not going to beat out Thayer Munford. Yes. But they have him on the same side as the open spot. So Nicholas Petit-Frere and Paris Johnson did rotate with the ones all day. DeJuan Johnson was the clear backup at left tackle. So again, you didn't – do I say DeJuan Johnson?
You did. You combined two large human beings.
Oh, right. Paris Johnson and DeJuan Jones. They are both large. But, like, if it's like how you deploy your dudes. So I think, again, that they put him in there with Nicholas Petit-Frere. Those are two five-star dudes. That could be a great battle. Steven, who's your guy?
I'm going to go with Jackson Smith-Njigba. He's a part of that four-man wide receiver, deep, talented 2020 recruiting class wide receiver group. One of the plethora of people who are apparently going to have some time at the slot this year for Ohio State. He had some nifty catches today. And because you're going to get one-on-ones with wide receivers and cornerbacks throughout spring practice, it's going to happen a lot. So there's going to be plenty of opportunities for guys to flash and make plays. He made a ton of plays. Some of them were inbound, some of them weren't. But anytime he seemed to make a catch, it got under Kerry Coombs' skin a little bit because he's a fiery guy and he doesn't want anybody catching anything on his cornerback. So I'm going to go with Jackson Smith-Njigba. He really flashed and showed some moments that kind of reminded you of why he's here in the first place and why he was a five-star receiver out of Texas. I
would have agreed with that answer before the first day of practice, except Garrett Wilson now owns the slot. Garrett Wilson owns the slot. I am surprised. I'm like personally excited. Garrett Wilson, he's actually not gigantic. He's 6 feet tall. He's not a 6'4" guy or whatever. But the way he could go up and make plays in the end zone last year, we saw the crazy catch against Clemson, and they're putting that in the slot. He ran with the ones in the slot all day. Demario McCall also ran with the slots. Mookie Cooper, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jalen Gill is there, but he's hurt. C.J. Saunders is there, but he might not get his sixth year. But Garrett Wilson, and when I asked Ryan Day about it, like, they're not messing around there. Like, there's some of this stuff in spring practice is experimentation. I thought he basically said he's a slot receiver now, and he is excited about what Garrett Wilson can do there. So, lovely little answer. And no offense to Jackson Smith-Njigba, we were sort of looking with KJ Hill gone. Who might? It's Garrett Wilson. It's Garrett Wilson, who's not a freshman with all the guys. He's a sophomore. He's done this before. They want to get him the ball and let him get the ball and take off in space. I think that's like a game changer for the offense because it opens up a position on the outside. You have some big guys out there. Woo! Excited. Man, Garrett Wilson in the slot has my juices flowing, baby. Nathan, try the text. Watch our videos, listen to the podcast, big podcast, Buckeye Talk coming this week. We just have so much coverage. Nathan, Steven, Doug, see you later from cleveland.com.